What is going on, everybody? Chase Crawford here with another episode of According to the Internet, joined today by filmmaker, composer, musician, jack of all trades, and master of a bunch of them too, Josh McCausland.
Hello.
Did I make you nervous?
No. That's always a funny thing.
The hype train is here.
Hype
Josh
train.
got off.
It's early.
We don't have video today, but he is wearing a PBS Kids shirt, which definitely helps him out, and his Kodak 400 beanie.
Took off my Kodak hat because comfortability.
How you doing, man?
Dude, I'm great, man.
So give the people what they want. Tell them a little bit about yourself and how you know me and how we met each other and that type of thing.
So Chase and I met in high school. I graduated in 2011 from Monroe. What year did you graduate?
2014.
2014. Okay.
Yeah.
So you were a freshman?
I was a freshman when you were a senior.
Yeah.
You were like one of the nice seniors.
Yeah.
There were, it was you. I remember I was playing soccer. You might remember this story. I feel like I tell it a lot, but you might actually remember it. Do you remember the Wilmington Cup Classic when we were playing a team and beating them like 8-0 and coach started putting in freshmen? And I took a shot from like 20 yards out and the team was not good. So it went in and I started celebrating. Connor lifted me on his shoulders like on the field. Coach took me off. He said, never do that again.
Oh, yeah.
And like left all the other freshmen on and like took me out. And because we were up like 9 or 10-0. And I was just like excited. Like that was my first goal ever.
Totally. No,
I don't know if you remember that or not.
I briefly remember that. That was a wild.
Do you remember... Was Julio senior when you were a senior?
Yeah.
Do you remember his cousin that played at that tournament with us and like scissor kicked someone?
Oh, yeah.
In the air?
I remember Julio's fans too.
Yes.
They used to chant for him.
Dude, honestly, like that was like, so those are some of the like those were where most of my memories were made in high school, was like in soccer. Mm-hmm. Like, because like you spend all day with those guys, so.
Right.
Yeah. When I think of like high school memories, like all of them almost circulate around soccer.
Yeah. I mean, it was life.
Soccer is life.
Yeah. But yeah, we met playing soccer, which was crazy. And then I moved to Nashville for soccer. Went to play in college, and then started my own company my sophomore year called IQ Flicks, which was my freelance company. And I worked in Music Row and Sony as a contract videographer for a couple of years. And then they went union, and so I had to kind of follow the freelance route more full time. And then I moved to Chattanooga, Tennessee, and now I live there. And I do a lot of stuff. I'm in a band called Signal Mountain. We do ambient cinematic music. I compose music for films and compose music for myself. And then I directed and produced 2 short films this year, one called Chaos Theory and the other called Anamnesis. So I kind of, and then I guess on the side of all that, I do a lot of blues, jazz guitar for studio work. So
like I said, master of a bunch of trades.
I just say I think whenever people, when you meet people and you kind of give the elevator speech of what you do, I kind of am always like,
you hope that it's a 40-floor building.
Yeah, right. I'm kind of like, I just spent a lot of time alone.
Yeah. No, I love it. So, I mean, let's just talk about last year for you. I know that was like kind of a big year. You took on a lot of projects. What are like some of your goals for this year, though?
Yeah, so last year I sort of hit a transition personally and professionally to do more work that I wanted to do. And so I started off the year with a really important cathartic project and ended the year with a really important cathartic project. Mm-hmm. My goals for this year were sort of to piggy bank off of that. I mean, last year was a great growing year for me.
Piggy bank or piggyback? You trying to take it to the bank, or you trying to ride off of the success, or both?
It would be great to take it to the bank.
You know what? Coin the term piggy bank.
Piggy bank.
It's like piggybacking and taking it to the bank.
Piggy banking. Yeah, I can see a whole marketing campaign behind that now.
Yeah,
super pink pigs.
Pepto-Bismol might be all over this.
They would. Cincinnati's Flying Pig Marathon.
Yes,
let's make this happen.
Okay, I love it.
But no, this year I think it's more. Music's something that I've been super passionate about longer than I've been passionate about anything. Because film has always been inspired by music, and that's why I do a lot of things, because they sort of cycle. So I'll do music and it'll inspire me to want to do a film, and then I'll do a film and it'll inspire me to want to do more music. And so this year I want to kind of just focus back on like my roots, blues, jazz stuff. I want to work on some guitar records with some people. I really am interested in doing film scoring. It's just a huge passion of mine, especially after finishing up Alan with you. And then the Signal Mountain music stuff is doing great. I mean, we got picked up by a label. We got a distributor in Amsterdam. So it's just like crazy.
You want to talk about that?
Sure. I would love to.
How much in the details can you get about that?
I can get pretty nitty gritty. We're
Sure.
not, I mean, there's no,
Let's do it.
The good thing is we don't have like a ceiling. No one's telling us we can't do anything, which is great. So
Mhm.
yeah, whatever you want to know. I mean, it's been Signal Mountain. I'll give you this short speech is just my friend Eric and I, we met last summer. He had reached out to me through Instagram and was like, you're the only guy around this area that's doing cool music like this. And so we should do some stuff together. So we just call it Bleep Bloops because they're just messing with modular synth. He's a lawyer by trade, so he's very technical.
Wow, what a convenient person to have in your circle.
Honestly, yeah. Like he's very. I'm not technical at all. Like I'm a very much like melodic, creative dude when it comes to music, and he's very like analytical. And he, especially him being a modular synthesis guy, he just knows the ins and outs of technically what's happening, and he'll explain it to me, and I have no idea. I'm just sort of like, I just really want to play piano. Like I only bought Ableton so I could play piano. So yeah, we've been playing music since summer. We have an album coming out February 22nd called Familiar Trails. We're scoring a documentary this year, which is exciting.
Mm-hmm.
We're also scoring a ballet performance of The Little Prince, which
Wow,
is going to
okay.
be really cool. And then we do a lot of music for dance companies and ballet performances around town.
Look at that.
It's cool. It's perfect. I mean,
So
it
I
works
think
out really well.
a lot of people who listen to this are creatives. I think a lot of people just like hearing our takes on the news. So without, I think, going too far into it, for those people out there that are kind of curious, like how did you get the label deal and the release and all of that stuff? Maybe can you touch on that a little bit?
Yeah. So Eric is really involved and really like sort of especially with the music we're doing. I mean, I can't speak too much on too many other genres because there's just a whole industry for everything. But the ambient sort of modular scene is something that Eric is super involved in. And through Instagram, actually, he's reached out to people and he knows this really amazing network of people. Because the ambient scene's huge and it's really small, though. So like people like Tim Heck or Brian Eno, even like Oliver Arnold's is involved in these scenes and they're just like so tight. But I don't know. I guess he was a friend of Eric's. The guy's name's David Mulligan, and he runs a label called Mystery Circles out of California. And they just knew each other. And David was like, I just kind of have been working on this label thing for a while and sort of building up. So we're kind of getting him on the ground floor of it. It's a brand new label. And he picked it up, and we're doing a 50 cassette limited edition release.
I love it.
Like a physical release. I'm really excited about that.
When do the pre-sales go up?
Next week.
I want to buy one.
You can totally buy one.
I told you I already want a vinyl.
Dude, I'm going to make that happen. I found out, we'll talk about it later, but
Okay.
there's just like a ton of stuff behind that. It's actually a little bit easier than I thought it was going to be.
Oh, cool.
So, but yeah, the cassette will pre-order next week. And I'm actually feeling pretty confident that we might be able to sell them all, which is cool. But basically we're going to release
What's the price point, if you don't mind me jumping in front of you?
Yet.
Okay.
I can't even give you a good guesstimation because
Okay.
I don't want to. I could set the bar really high so that when you see the price, it's lower.
Yeah, $99.
Yeah, I don't see it being over $250 personally. But that's exciting. I mean, because that's something that too, like I've noticed in the ambient community, they pass tapes around, and someone someone in that scene has more of a propensity to listen to your tape and then go listen to your streams.
What a I'm sorry, what a like odd community.
It's a
like,
strange world. Think about like 80s AV club.
I love it though.
Yeah.
It's weird, but it's also so cool. Like it's just a purist community.
It really is, man. And me being like this product of like, 90s culture and growing up in the digital age, I'm like, what? Like they're just not going to go to our Spotify? And he's like, well, I mean, they will. But if we give them a tape, then they'll go to our Spotify. I'm like, I don't even own a cassette player anymore. But
yeah, I don't have one either. I would have it solely just for support purposes.
Yeah. I mean, I'm definitely going to get a boombox now, so I can like. I mean, and it's like listening to a vinyl. I mean, you feel the texture in a vinyl, and it actually. It sounds like whatever. It's better. It just sounds better.
Yeah.
So I mean, we're going to do on the 22nd. We're going to bring our boombox up to Signal Mountain, which is the actual mountain in Chattanooga, and we're going to play it super loud and have a little listening party. And I'm excited about it. So
that sounds fun.
Yeah. So the actual album will be online on all streaming services the 22nd of February too.
And is that release going through the same person?
Yeah.
Mystery Circles?
Yep.
Okay.
So it'll be on, Spotify, iTunes. It'll be SoundCloud and Bandcamp. And also there'll be extra cassettes being sold on Bandcamp if we need to sell more. And then there's also this neat company based out of Amsterdam called POW Academy. And they basically are just like this worldwide hub of ambient, weird sound design. And they're sort of doing a rebrand right now, but they're interested in some of our sounds and helping to promote us a little bit. So we're hoping that goes pretty well. It's kind of all in the works. I mean, the music distribution side is something I've learned a ton about in the last couple months, and something I was really sort of inept to. And it's a lot to learn. I mean, planning releases and especially like with the album release being in February 22nd, we didn't finish the album until January 5th. So it's really smart to have everything prepped at least 4 to 5 weeks out. And we weren't there, but we're just ready to get it out.
Yeah. So is the label helping you with promotion and all of that?
As best they can.
Okay.
It's still like a really small thing. They're starting as well. So it's cool that we're kind of on the ground floor with them.
Yeah, as many people as you can have in your corner. It's always the best way to go about things. Let's get into the news, man. Let's talk about this egg. Dude. This egg took over Instagram over the past
news.
Week. It's crazy.
Wild.
So for those of you that somehow don't know about the egg.
Doesn't it start with what came first, the Jenner or the egg?
Well, some of the memes have been like, what came first, the profiteers or the egg? Because there's all these people profiting off of the egg now.
Wow.
So Kylie Jenner had 17 million likes. It was the record for most amount of likes on Instagram. And someone created an account literally called World Record Egg and posted a picture of just an egg. And in a matter of weeks, I mean, I think that it's been up for 2 weeks now. I think they posted it on the 4th of January. 48.7 million likes and literally millions of followers. Like their account's been verified. And I think that they actually posted another picture where the egg is starting to crack.
Oh, wow. I mean, I found out the guy who took the picture, he was just like a stock photographer. He was one of those like Adobe stock guys. And he was like, I just had the photo, man.
Wow.
He was just sitting around.
Well, what I think this can only be the answer to is the next go round of The Annoying Orange, where the egg turns into a character and gets a Nickelodeon show.
With the freaking...
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah.
People can't see, but I'm just like,
dude, there's got to be some
stress.
There's got to be some production company out there that's like, how can we capitalize off of this egg's 7 million followers?
Yeah, it'll be like,
make the egg talk.
It'll be like that Pixels movie.
Oh, God.
Or the Emoji movie.
The Emoji Movie, okay.
I didn't see it, though.
Here's 2 things about the Emoji Movie. 1, written by Mike White, who wrote School of Rock, one of my favorite movies of all time. Probably my favorite movie of all time. Yeah. 2, made a shit ton of money.
Oh, yeah?
A literal shit ton of money.
What is a literal shit?
I think it made...
Described as?
I think it made $200 million at the box.
Dang.
Yeah. Family animated movies will always make money, no matter what.
Did you see it?
No. It's on Netflix, though.
Hey, there you go.
I love numbers.
Yeah.
I love saying the Emoji Movie sucked and then looking at it, saying they made it for 50 mil, made 200 mil off of it. They had an actual writer. They had name cast. And it's like, what?
Right.
Like it blows my mind. My mind is blown.
You're like, head blown emoji.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, head blown emoji. Off topic, but do you like Hobo Johnson?
Oh, I love Hobo Johnson.
Oh, yes. Okay.
I'm not a huge fan of Peach Scones, but I do like Hobo Johnson.
So I've been listening to his NPR set every morning.
It's so good.
That's better than to me. Like, I can't be the only one who loves live performances more than studio recordings.
I love NPR stuff. That's like one of my goals is to be on that.
And the opening of Romeo and Juliet, I like the NPR opening better than because it's the moaning. It's like, it feels so good, but where it's like almost like pop punk. They're like, oh shit, goddamn, and
I love seeing him mess up too.
Yeah,
that's one of my favorite moments in the whole set.
It's so natural.
Yeah.
I saw him live. Have you seen him live?
I haven't seen him live, but you told me about that and I freaked out because you got to see him.
Oh yeah, dude. I DM'd him and I was like, yo, we're at the bar across the street, and freaking shows up after the show. So
That's crazy.
That's how it goes.
He seems like a neat guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows? Who knows?
One of my
I bet he's a really cool guy.
yeah.
I listened to this podcast or whatever that he was on, and he said that like he wants to do 3 albums. He wants to do The Rise of Hobo Johnson, which is the first album, and then like I forget what he called it, The Peak or whatever, The Reign of Hobo Johnson, and then The Fall of Hobo Johnson. Quit music forever.
Start his own cupcake, Hobo Johnson Cupcakes.
He said that he said literally like he's doing. I mean, right now compared to other musical artists, he's still like pretty small scale. But he said that he has more money than he knows what to do with. He's paid off all of his parents' debt. Like he's paid off a house. Like he doesn't know what to do with the money anymore. And he doesn't want this to be his life forever, essentially is what it came down to. So
yeah,
at least he has an exit strategy.
Right.
Whereas I don't. My life is going to be like this forever.
Perpetual state of figuring it out.
Yeah. Anyways, I have a new segment today. Are you excited for that?
Nice. I'll be like, what is it, guinea pig?
Yeah, you're the guinea pig.
All about pigs today.
All the people are guinea pigs. But before we get into that, small town shout out. So it's a fun little game. Yeah, I need like theme songs or something.
Small town shout out. Dun, 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 dun.
All right, I'm definitely gonna like cut that and play that before every small town shout out now. You give a shout out to a small town, and then we both try to guess the population, see who's closest to it.
Ooh, any town.
Any town.
Can it be a town I don't even know about?
Yep.
I'm gonna say
it's hard.
Kettering.
Kettering.
Because I know there's more than one Kettering.
Kettering. Name a state. Let's see.
Do you think there's a Kettering in Idaho?
Let's see. Kettering, Idaho. There's not.
Oh.
But there's a Nampa, Idaho.
Let's do that.
All right.
That sounds fantastic.
All right. You guess the population. I know nothing about this town. I'm going to say 850.
That's oh, wait. I was waiting for the any comma zeros after that. All right. I'm going to go with 3,000.
Okay. Nampa, Idaho. Population.
That's really small.
Oh my God. 93,590.
Wow. We were drastically off.
Yeah, I've never heard of Nampa. So shout out to all the people in Nampa. Do you think it's like a suburb of Boise? Should we like really get into
They should have
this?
a tagline that says Nampa, not Tampa, or like Nampa, better than Tampa.
You know what I actually love is like the comedy that the people who put up the road signs like on the highway. Like
I love
when
those.
I-75 starts up in Toledo, it says Tampa, 1,024 miles away. And it's like, we are in Toledo, Ohio. Don't make me think about Tampa or else I'm going to get really sad.
Dude, when I was coming back from Detroit, I saw that. I was like, someone is trolling hard.
It is a suburb of Boise. It is west of Boise. Just
amazing. I've never been to Boise. I've never been to Idaho.
I've never been to Idaho either. I think that we should make a movie there.
We should go to Nampa and film something.
You know what? If that actually happens, that would be the most crazy turn of events ever. Now on to our new segment. Is this really news? Bam!
I love this. We need those soundboards with
I
the
know.
boom, 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 boom.
I know. We're not that high tech yet. We're just 2 mics and a computer right now. So
that should be the podcast name.
I'm sure someone's already taken that. Yeah. That's like ground. That's ground level.
I gotta get better at this.
Come on, Josh. So the title of the story is "Pets and Owners Flock to Madrid Church for Blessing of Animals." In Madrid this week, dogs and cats and birds were blessed at a church in Madrid on Thursday on the feast day of Saint Anthony, who is the patron saint of animals, with many of the owners making the annual pilgrimage for their pets. And it's saying that the church's priest, Angel Garcia, expected 15,000 pets to be brought for this year's ceremony. Is this really news?
Wow. That was intense.
I know. What do you think? Should that be news? Is it news? I don't even know where the conversation goes. I just kind of was like, I don't know.
Wow, that seems like a very oddly specific news piece for someone oddly specifically interested in animal news.
I found it on Reuters. This like hit the global like news.
I mean, it sounds like a Noah's Ark Part 2 or like a sequel to something. I don't know.
But that is actual news.
That's incredible.
Another segment. So I've been toying around with new segments because like I think as the show grows, it should develop and all of that stuff. What do you think about a segment where I say like the title to a news story and we make up the story?
That sounds very fun.
Yeah?
Let's try it.
You want to try it right now? All right. Well, let's talk about the government shutdown first while I find a good headline.
Oh, man.
So, speaking of inefficiency, the government is currently shut down for the longest it's ever been shut down.
True.
You know things are bad when Cardi B says the government needs to reopen.
Wow.
And I'm also on the side of the government needs to reopen because I don't know if this is true or not, but flights are super expensive right now. Have
true.
you noticed that?
I have. And well, I've also decided not to fly for a while just because their government, the people who are checking the planes are government funded.
Well, I need to go to LA next week and it's going to be $950.
Round trip?
Round trip.
God.
Where normally I can usually find a flight a week out like for $250.
Right.
So it's literally cheap. Like I can
take a megabus.
I can drive to Chicago.
Oh yeah.
And fly for like $180 out of there.
Oh shoot, are you gonna do that?
I'm weighing my options heavily right now, but more than like
you can take a train to Chicago.
What train goes up there?
From Cincinnati.
They have a metro in Cincinnati?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, I had because when I was sorry, disclosed information. Yes. Long story short, yeah. My brain just shut down like the government for a second. It was like, wait.
So we're currently on day 28 of this shutdown. What are your thoughts about this?
Wasn't there a film called 28 Days Later?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Is that a Bruce Campbell film?
I'm not really sure, but that could be. I would like to look up the plot of that and somehow connect it to our lives right now.
Well, I mean, like I said earlier, Cardi B is speaking out about this, so things must be pretty serious.
28 days is a long time.
What's gonna suck is doing taxes.
True,
because people are supposed to get a return are gonna have to wait a long time, but people who are gonna have to cut a check, they're gonna clear that the next day.
Right.
It's not like yeah, it's not like any of us are winning there.
Yeah. Oh, man. I'm super ignorant when it comes to taxes. I'm one of those people that kind of just fills it to where I can keep it kind of at zero.
Do you have someone do your taxes? I guess that's a personal question, but not really.
No, I don't. I should. I should have Eric do it. Hey, Eric, if you're listening to this,
Eric's a lawyer.
He's a lawyer.
I bet he has someone do his taxes.
But he does have someone do his taxes.
What kind of lawyer is he?
He's a technical lawyer, I think he calls it. He deals with like, he works at Blue Cross Blue Shield. So he deals with sort of the cyber part of stuff, I believe.
That's interesting.
I don't know much about it. Because when we talk about music. And then I go, I know you're a lawyer of some sorts, but if you try to explain it to me, you're going to lose me.
All right. I've got a headline that we can make a story up off of. All right.
Let's do it.
So we should call this story fake news. We should call this segment fake news.
Fake news.
Right?
The fakest.
we're gonna have so many like great punch-ins for future episodes here. Man hospitalized after injecting own semen after injecting own semen to treat back pain. I'm sorry. I couldn't spit it out without laughing.
His own.
So tell me about this story, Josh.
It started off as most good stories do with a beanbag chair.
After getting home from a long day of work, he sat in his favorite beanbag chair.
Yeah, which is probably the root of his back problems, to be honest.
Yeah, there's no support there.
I mean,
you're onto something.
I am. And the question is it lower back or upper back? And was whatever happened in one fluid motion, or
was he like carrying a syringe of his own semen and like he like got in a car accident and like
Oh,
he was
true,
driving
true,
with
true.
one hand, had the syringe in the other, and like through all the motion, accidentally injected it into,
Yeah, I mean,
his back.
it also bears to mind some questions on the way he lives, because was he just traveling around conveniently with a syringe of his own fluid? And I mean, is that a thing? I don't know the dating life anymore. Is that a thing we just carry around?
Sometimes I ask women if they would be plentiful carriers of my children. So
You're like, hey, let's go. I got it.
exactly,
It's right here in my back pocket.
Exactly.
It's actually in my back.
Precisely what happens.
Yeah, I wonder what happened there, though.
What, you don't do that?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm old fashioned.
What even is old fashioned anymore?
Yeah, right. I think it's someone who I don't even know. I just bumped my mic.
Okay. Josh is uncomfortable. Bam.
Josh is uncomfortable.
All right, that was fake news. I think it could be fun.
It could be fun. I think depending on the headline.
Wouldn't you know, my verse of the day just popped up.
Oh.
The Bible app verse of the day. Oh man, God is always watching.
The screensaver behind you is great.
Yeah,
I've been sort of watching these photos shuffle around. It's nice.
Okay, so back to the government shutdown. What would you do if you were an employee right now and you were going on day 28 of work for exposure?
Oh boy, what's my backstory? What am I doing? That's the real question.
You are.
Because was I unhappy in my current position, and am I seeking other employment now?
Let's see. I think you're just a dude trying to pay his bills.
Oh, crap. I mean, yeah, 28 days later, no income.
That's like 2 paychecks.
I could buy a beanbag chair and a syringe and really solve all my problems.
I want to buy the life rights to that guy's story.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like if you're in that situation, you run into that, because they don't know, right? Do they know when they're going to be back up and running?
No.
It's just, you're just...
He's holding out to build a wall.
Maybe there's probably a bittersweet aspect to this. There's probably some people who are like, this is a life opening, and it made me realize I need to do something else with my life.
I hope so.
I hope so too. But then there's also the other people who obviously there's a real trouble with it.
It's a real issue.
It's a real issue
Let's just say
Let's
that.
just throw that out there, yeah.
But also,
Yeah.
let's see, what's the flip side of this? Do you think the wall will get built? Which side do you think will cave first? For the wall or against the wall?
I don't foresee a world in which it would get built logistically. And that's just because it's so illogical.
So much money and manpower.
So much money. And it just seems so illogical. It's just, even both people on the sides of the fence can agree with it. It's unforeseeable at this point.
Yeah. And also, has anyone looked into the Canadians? I mean, like, are we the land of equal opportunity? We've got to build equal-sized walls on both sides.
I saw this video on Instagram the other day that was a speech of Donald Trump's, like, way.
Oh, yes. I saw
he was
that.
like, whatever you're struggling with, whatever wall it is, tear it down, climb over it, like jump over it, and
do whatever it takes to overcome
the obstacle. Yes. And I was like, this is incredible.
Oh, man. My favorite meme that's been floating around the internet about that is like, walls work great. Ask the people in China. There's no Mexicans there.
Oh my
God. Which rolls us into one of my favorite segments, Meme of the Day, presented by my wife. And if you want to see the actual picture of the Meme of the Day, you can go to @TheInternetPodcast on Instagram. It's a great way to transition people.
Is it up right now?
From the podcast to the Instagram account. It is not up right now, but it will be up by the time of posting. Man. Well, you don't want to give people a sneak peek because then, then what's the point? But anyways, it's from Soulja Boy's Breakfast Club interview the other day.
Oh my God.
Did you watch that?
It's just fantastic, by the way.
Yes, it's like one of the best Breakfast Club interviews. And Soulja Boy gets up and Charlamagne says something about Drake. And Soulja Boy turns around and says, Drake? Drake?
Why did you just sound like Scooby-Doo?
Yes. I love doing this. My daughter loves the Scooby-Doo voice, and I can do like an Elmo voice too. I won't do it for the sake of my life. Because I don't. You never know when Sesame Street's gonna send some boys for your knees. But,
true though.
But yeah, I love doing the Shaggy. There's that Wendy's commercial where the guy turns around and goes, huh? Do you know which one I'm talking about?
No.
It's like the Wendy's 4 for $4 and the guy's in the car and he's like, huh? He like does the turnaround. It's hilarious. But that's kind of where that Scooby voice stems from. Anyways, the caption is job. Could you stay till me with the Soulja Boy meme under it? Stay? So I thought that was funny. Shout out my days at Best Buy where I got asked almost every night to stay till close. And
Best Buy.
Sometimes I did because,
can't trust that
boy needs some Ched.
Ched. Ched.
Yes.
This is what we've gotten to.
Ched is supreme. All right, let's get into this last order of business, and let's just chat about music and like low budget films and just like creative rambling because, like I said, a lot of people who listen to this are creatives, and
I'm gonna get comfy.
probably would like some insight. I mean, we're two people doing this professionally, fortunate enough to pay our bills from it, and I think that I wish that there was like an AMA format where we could answer people's specific questions, but. Sure. I guess if you have any specific questions, you can DM them to me. And if we're able to book Josh again in the future, I know his schedule's tight and he's about to blow up off the charts. But maybe we'll do a round 2.
Yeah.
But let's just hop into it.
Well, I mean, I think a good segue into that is since we both, been producing and directing stuff, you've done a lot more production than I have. So, I mean... As far as producer creds go, don't make that.
I don't know. I produced 2 features and I produced 2 web series, but
that's good.
I think that you've got the head start on me there. You've done a bunch of music videos and commercials and short films and the documentary.
I mean, what do you think? I mean, we could just talk about. I mean, there's just making a film.
So let's talk about making a film.
Yeah.
There's hundreds of kids in LA that think that they have the next great script.
Sure.
And they're looking for what's everyone's favorite F word? Financing. So, have you ever raised, and if so, how did you?
Oh man, that's always the challenge for me has always been, I mean, obviously logistics and financing, but I do a lot of my stuff on like no budget. Which is brutal.
Friends and favors.
Mm-hmm. Small towns. I mean, it's the way to do it, especially. You
can't do that in LA. That's the thing.
No.
I don't think either of our careers, I can at least speak for myself, I don't think at least my career would be sustainable in LA.
Oh, no, me neither.
Based on just the budgets and the hustle and all of that stuff.
Right.
Everyone's trying to do the same thing out there. No one wants to do favors for each other. Not everyone. 75% of people are all talk.
Right.
So...
Well, I mean, and even like, so Chaos Theory last year released in January, and we got the location for free. Lighting Tech did it for free. They just wanted to test the space on us because they just installed this brand new system, and so to rent that space for 10 hours, we were there for 10 hours, would have cost so much money, and we did it for free. And my last film, Anamnesis, we filmed it on location at a rehabilitation center. So, and we filmed there we were there from 11 till 7, and that would have cost so much. And I mean, just talking about the real numbers, it only costed $200.
Yeah.
Unreal. So that's kind of stuff that like you and I both have understood. I mean, Moondance was produced in a small town, and you guys had great support from local people.
Moondance was, we did that in Kalamazoo. Granted, there was a lot of money spent on that project. Like we were barely ultra low budget. So if you're familiar with like the SAG, like steps, like we spent a ton of money, but that's because we had a huge crew. I mean, we had, I think 20 some odd people every day.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, it was a musical. So there's so many more moving parts where we needed dancers and musicians. But yeah, I mean, as far as like locations and stuff go, I think we lucked out and got a lot of stuff for free. There's one specific instance where there was this diner that the director loved the look of, and I called them, and they were like, "Yeah, we'll do it for $1,000 for like 3 hours of shooting." And I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And we ended up we were shooting in a really, really, like really small town. And there was this diner that we passed every day, and like didn't think anything of it until like I was like, oh, and we could do it here. And yeah, they let us shoot there for free, like
That's
overnight. Yeah, and it was great.
And I'm sure that's the best thing because you buy food, and they're all for that.
Well, no, we didn't even buy food. They
really?
just like they left the place unlocked overnight.
Oh, that's amazing.
Come in. Yeah, it was great.
That's even better. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's super trusting.
Yeah.
Wow.
There was, I mean, yeah. Realistically, it doesn't hurt to ask.
Right.
But the other great thing is like the police were so nice. A lot of the places we shot, like we did a lot of stuff run and gun, like just 100% honestly. So like we did a lot of like sidewalk scenes, run and gun, where like we knew that we needed to shoot it one day and we didn't know what day. So like we didn't apply for a permit, and we would just show up and do it. And like they were cool with it. They were just excited that something was happening in the town.
Right.
There was one time where someone, like, you know, a property owner downtown wasn't happy, but that's kind of because other stuff, people weren't, you know, being mindful of where they were leaving pop cans and stuff. So
yeah. Do you guys use gimbals for those sidewalk scenes?
So we did not. We set up sticks or set up dolly track.
Okay.
We did whatever we needed to for the shot. I don't know if we used.
I don't know if you guys used like a Movi or anything.
We
like
used a steady cam a couple days, but we didn't really use like gimbal or anything like that. At least that I can remember.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, our whole team was great. They were all hustlers. They really dealt with the hand each and every day, which was awesome. Because there were some big days, and there were some like I think every film goes upon like big ambitious days. Like
sure,
Alan, we did 18-page day. We did a 16-page day. We did. And anyone making films knows that like average is like 4 to 5 pages a day, and like maybe you'll do 8 pages. 16
pages in a day is insane.
Well, we did 18 pages in one day. Every day was over 10.
That's intense, man. I mean, that film you guys pulled off in such a small amount of time.
Mm-hmm. And that was another thing. The community was so great. We got a lot of places for free or extremely cheap. But that was a big friends and favors shoot. We had a lot of people just help us out because they knew that this was our first dive into what we wanted to do forever. And you know, at least from my perspective, if I had a friend say, "Hey, I want to do this forever, and all I'm asking for is for 8 days of your life to help me lay down the bricks of something that I want to do forever." Like, what friend is gonna say no? Like, I had friends that had never even done film. Yeah, offered to just essentially what's a PA, like just doing runs and you know, holding up quiet signs outside and stuff like that. Like, but it's like when all hands on deck. Like when you have all of those pieces that are working cohesively together,
it's huge.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, man. It's like an orchestra. Yeah, when it all comes together, it's such a good feeling. And I've been dealing with short form media for a while now, and it's like I'm getting shorter and shorter with everything. Like Anamnesis was only 15 minutes. It was a 15-minute one take. And I'm working on producing a 5-part series right now. They're all going to be a minute and a half. And it's just sort of like I'm getting more interested in sort of small form media because you can kind of create those moments in a less stressful environment. Although I do love features. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. But again, there's like technical disadvantages there.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, just from where I am, I'm more of where business meets art in the producer role. So like that's a big reason why, you know, features are features. Like it's hard to make money on a short. Sure. Like even if you throw together an all right looking feature, you'll be able to make money and recoup investment and that type of deal.
True. Yeah.
So,
and that's what I'm trying to. I mean, I'd like to eventually. That was one of my goals this year. I mean, working on the documentary.
Yeah.
It's just been a huge thing, and then just trying to transition to where's that niche? Where's that niche in features, especially for someone like me. I have the propensity to just like want to do so many things.
Yeah, I think that features are all about the script. Docs are still something that are fun, and like you said, like the story kind of develops itself along the way.
Yeah.
Now you can obviously go after someone's life rights and do something about them where it's kind of like cut and copy paste type of thing, where it's like, I was thinking about buying the life rights to Ezra Charles.
Oh, wow.
And making a documentary about him when I got back from Sundance.
You told me about that.
I told you about that. Yeah. And because no one's made a documentary about him. He's one of the greatest boxers from Cincinnati. Cincinnati is where I was born and raised. Like, someone should tell a story. And I was looking into documentary grants and like who would be able to even sell me the rights
who owns
to his
this man?
Exactly. Because it's like, he died 20 years ago.
Sure.
All the people who saw him box are either 95 or dead.
I mean, now would be the time to get interviews with them.
Exactly. That's kind of why.
Yeah.
I mean, outside of like boxing historians and like ESPN talking head type of people that you could do interviews with, it's very difficult.
Sure.
One thing I found out in my research, though, is that he started an independent film called The Jungle in Cincinnati that never got released.
Huh.
And no one knows where the footage is. And I wanted I wanted to find it and use it as a cut-in. Use it as cut-ins.
You just start the film with it.
Well, yeah. And I think that's just so interesting. Who spends all this time on a film and then it just gets lost somewhere?
Wow. Dude, do it.
It's one of those things that's like on the back burner. I've wrote you can't really, it's hard to write a treatment for a documentary. Because it's especially something like that where you're hunting for something that like you have no idea where it could even be.
Totally.
But because it's like, what if it was in a storage unit? But like, what if that storage unit like went default after he died? Then you have to like figure out who bought it 30 years ago. And then like you have to like figure out if it was even in that. And then like that storage unit probably hasn't been owned by the same people for 30 years. So it's like,
wow.
There's like all of these
this rabbit hole of possibilities.
Yeah, and the likeliness of finding it is so slim.
If you got your hands on it, that would be like national treasure.
Oh, dude, it sends chills up my spine even like thinking about like how crazy it would be to find it. Right? I mean,
that'd be amazing.
I know. It's like you go out on this journey and follow all of these rabbit holes and then like open this box in some grandma's attic that she doesn't even know what's in it.
Right.
Some dusty, it's like the Goonies. Mm-hmm. They open the box and it's like this reel and it says The Jungle on it. And you're like, bruh.
Yeah, and then the Zodiac killer appears behind you.
Yeah. So,
and
that also made me curious about like who owns the rights to that film.
Sure.
I'm sure everyone's dead, and since it never got published, it's not held under any publishing rights.
Right.
So it's like, does the grandma who owns the attic own that?
Yeah,
like,
sure.
It's like, hey, here's $100 for the rights to this entire completed film.
Right.
It's like, who knows? Like, the whole thing is just very interesting to me, to say the least. But 30 for 30 is actually what got me passionate about, like, I want to make films. So, I think documentaries are always something that I've wanted to venture into, like, based on true story and documentary type projects. Sure. So we'll see what happens.
Well, and touching on that too is like, especially for me, I was never really, I'm not typically into documentaries that much, and I never really was into documentaries that much. I do enjoy watching them, but for me, it's just to talk to other filmmakers too and tell them like it's just it's a ton of work, but it's also a really volatile approach to filmmaking. Mm-hmm. It's not something where you can create a script and say this is what we're going to do, because once you go to a place and you document it, your story becomes that. Mm-hmm. And then each time you get an interview, each time you get more footage, that story changes. And it's just this organic, ever-evolving project until at the end you're sitting on tons of footage and tons of interviews and you're sort of like, holy crap, like how do I make this work? And so something like that you're talking about is, that's like the biggest challenge in doing documentary work is it's just a ton of sifting and thinking and wondering, how do I make this real life tangibility, something that's able to be consumed in a digital format.
Do you follow Griffin Hammond?
No.
He's like a indie film guru type.
Oh, really?
Here's a couple podcasts that you guys should listen to for those out there who are like into podcasts and film. There's a couple that I have found recently that I've just been like craving more and more of. Like I'm some pregnant woman. I like will wake up in the morning and be like, ooh, I want to listen to
Some
X.
pregnant woman.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a really great podcast called Just Shoot It. They literally talk about the nitty-gritties of film production, agents, lawyers, directing, like commercial work, all of that stuff. Over 150 episodes. They release new episodes constantly. And then there's one called Hey Indie Filmmakers.
Oh, I've heard of this one.
Yeah, it's Griffin Hammond. And he was formerly of Indie Film News or something. He was like, when I was in high school, and I was like, man, I want to do like a 360 time lapse, but I only have $100. Like, how do I do it? And he did the eggshell timer and did a suction cup mount to a GoPro, and like the timer is like an hour-long timer.
That's
and
brilliant.
It turns in a circle, and you put a GoPro on top of it, and you get a really great time-lapse 360 shot.
That's brilliant.
And after I saw like what he was able to do, I was like, this is crazy. This is really crazy stuff. The internet's a wild place, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, I do a lot of stuff. I don't listen to too many podcasts. Just whoops. But I.
Where's the soundboard? Boo.
Boom, 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 boom. But I follow a bunch of filmmaking channels on YouTube. I'm a big YouTube nerd. But people like Film Riot, you get to learn from filmmakers who are doing the same thing as you. They teach you to watch someone that like they'll produce a short film, and then so they'll release it on their YouTube.
No Film School's good too.
No Film School's great, yeah. And then they'll just kind of like the next month or two after that, they'll just do videos each week on different processes of making that short film. So it's valuable.
Yeah, and I can only speak for myself, but I'm just constantly absorbing information.
Totally.
Like I think if you are in this industry, it changes so quickly. Like you need to be absorbing as much information, becoming as knowledgeable about your craft as possible.
Totally. If you're not learning anymore, you're stagnant.
Yeah, like so I mean, I guess let's get into like what kind of team do you have around you right now? Like agent, manager, like lawyer, like that type of deal. Like what because I know, for a director,
right,
after you've put a couple pieces under your belt, like you want someone out there hustling for you. So
totally. Well, and unfortunately that's a whole realm that we mentioned each other I don't have yet. I'm super interested in what that would look like.
Yeah.
Especially with some of the content I've been producing. I'm not typically a person who's proud of stuff I do, but the last couple of projects I've done, I've been like, these are actually really good, and been interested in what that would look like. But I don't have anybody behind me. I don't have any management. It's sort of just me. I have a company, quote company, IQ Flicks, but it's just me.
We all have quote companies, right?
Exactly.
So I mean, I guess I can speak from the side of like someone who does have rep.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, do you have any questions about that? I'll let you ask the questions. It's kind of hard to just like open and like.
Sure. Well, I mean, and I think it would be, I know how you got connected, but I'd be curious to hear it just so that other people can hear it too, and how that happened for you and what that looks like for you.
Yeah. So when I was 18 years old, I was fortunate enough to be in this film called GOAT. It went to Sundance. I went to Sundance with the film. It was really a great experience for me. And it's truly like it is an entourage. You go to all these parties, there's managers, there's agents. I was telling someone, I think I was telling you. Was I telling you this? One of the first parties I went to, no, it wasn't you. But one of the first parties I went to was a Harvey Weinstein party at Sundance.
Ooh.
I know. And this was before all this stuff came out.
Dang.
Yeah, and I was meeting agents and managers and lawyers, and I was really learning like how critical lawyers are to your team as well. Like they really protect your future. So yeah, that's like where everything happened for me. When you're young and in a Sundance film, like that's like to agents and managers, that's like you could be the next Timothy Chalamet, or you could be Chase Crawford. So,
right, with an S.
Yeah, exactly. I'm at the bottom of the totem pole as far as everything's concerned.
Not in my eyes.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah, man.
I hate to talk about myself, but
same.
it's like literally it hurts me. I think it's like part of just like being raised in a small town. Like if you're cocky, dude, someone will punch you in the mouth.
Totally.
So like,
yeah,
I'm still getting used to like LA-ism, where everyone's like, look at how great I am. Look at how great everything I do is.
It's so hard, dude.
Look at me. I'm awesome. Yeah.
I'm always like, I do stuff. I create stuff.
I create the movies.
Yeah. So on that side of things, I mean, you know a lot more than I do, which I'm sort of like at the surface, and I'm interested to dive in.
Agent takes 10. Manager takes 10.
Yeah.
Lawyer takes 5.
I don't know a lawyer either.
Yeah. So 25% of all of my money goes to someone else, and then 50% goes to my wife. So
is the daughter included in that 50%?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So
okay.
Yeah.
Look, there you go. You got a good percentage of your own money.
Yeah. The government gets 17.
Middle class America, man.
Yeah. And then what's left? I think that's over 100% of my money's gone. But I'm not mad at all. Like, that's the thing. That's the thing, dude. I'm able to pay my bills. I'm happy. And they only get a cut of deals that they're involved in.
Sure. Yeah.
So, like, when me and you worked out the agreement for the documentary, they're not going to touch that unless it goes to distribution. I need to consult the lawyer about that type of stuff, and then he'll get a cut of my end of the deal.
Sure.
But I mean, realistically, they're just extra people out there name dropping me and pushing me, and it's really opened a lot of doors. Yeah, it's opened a lot of doors and provided a lot of opportunity. But it's always something that you have to be smart about.
Well, and I guess since I'm asking you questions, what is that like for, especially for people, like, 'cause I'm curious and I know other people are probably curious, like, what does that look like? Like, are people looking for directors? Are people looking for talent to pick up? And where do you go to find that? Like, where,
agents or clients?
Agents.
Agents.
So like other directors, if they might be listening, where do they go and how do they get connected in?
So a lot of people I know that have gotten repped that don't live in LA or New York usually have like a Vimeo staff pick.
Okay.
And agents and managers will contact you from that. And then what usually happens is they'll try to get you in LA or New York for usually a couple months, but at least a month. And then they'll just set up a bunch of meetings for you, get you in front of people. And then you can talk about, your methods and that type of deal.
Sure. I'm gonna have to pick your brain after this about that.
Yeah, with talent, it's a little different. They really want someone with credits and a reel and that type of deal, and obviously like marketability value too. So like if you have a social following on top of all of that, it makes you, it adds value to what they're doing for you, and also how much money they're able to get. Because if you can pay $500 for someone who's talented, or $600 for someone who's talented but will will add to your marketing, then like the choice is kind of easy from a production side.
Yeah.
So yeah. It's fun. I have I told you earlier, I got that really interesting opportunity this week. So
yep.
That's why I'm heading out to LA next week. We'll see what happens. Podcast may get canceled forever if I get it. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't just jump ship.
Canceled.
No, but it's like my wife jokes. She says that I get job scares every couple months. It's like pregnancy scares, except like I'll get like these like really interesting. Like I don't care to talk about it either. It's like I'll get these really interesting, like serious offers from like ABC and like these big networks who are doing these cool shows. So, and that's all thanks to someone out there hyping me up and name dropping me and that type of deal. So one day it will be an actual pregnancy, but
I can't wait to be there when you.
One day the job scare will actually be a job, but until then I
can't wait till you're pregnant.
Exactly, I can't wait either because I know like it's like a pregnancy scare is like life changing if it's
Totally.
actual baby. So like a job
Sure.
scare is going to be life changing if it's an actual job.
Right.
So yeah, it's just something like I believe in.
That's so cool.
I believe in like everything's supposed to happen for a reason. So if I don't get it, it happened for a reason. If I do get it, like it happened for a reason.
Right. There's that idea that a lot of people approach like success and making like quote making it, whatever that is, as like, why hasn't it happened yet? Why hasn't it happened? And a lot of the times it's that you weren't ready.
Patience.
Because the opportunity will be there when you're ready. Mm-hmm. So
if all of this would have happened when I was 18, I would have not been ready, like at all.
Totally
at all. And it's like it could still happen today and I might not be ready.
Right.
Like, but I feel like even over the past 4 years since I've started all of like this serious stuff with like rap and everything, it's like just through having a kid and stuff, I've matured a lot. I've really been able to grasp the market. And it's something where, like, if it does come, like, I know that I'm going to be able to handle it professionally and take it kind of in stride.
Yeah.
Like, it would be cool to be, like, don't get me wrong. Like, it would be, like, if Modern Family called and was like, hey, like, we're going to pick you up for 6 episodes, I would be, like, over the moon. Like, I don't know if I could contain myself, but, like, I know that, like, I would be able to handle the work and execute it the way that they want it. And because I know that ultimately that's going to lead to more jobs.
Exactly.
So you just have to see it in perspective and know that it's like a really, really long road and not just like this like quick little NASCAR race.
Sure. Dude, that's cool. I'm proud of you, man. This is totally sidebar, but I'm proud of you.
Appreciate you.
It's cool to see us reconnect.
Of course.
Because I'd been seeing your progress throughout the last couple of years and grown and done a lot of cool things. And it's cool to kind of come back and be like, it's cool. We're just both from this small town and both doing cool stuff.
Yeah. A lot of people from Monroe doing cool stuff lately.
Yeah.
Jake Mitchell just moved out to LA. I don't know if you know him.
Oh, yeah.
He was actually younger than me, but he was at Emerson. And he moved out to LA yesterday, 2 days ago. I was supposed to grab lunch with him, but oops.
What's he doing?
Cinematography. He's trying to DP out there.
Sweet.
Yeah.
We're just gonna be able to get a production company with us one day.
Yeah. Oh, we should start a production company and call it. No, we should just call it Monroe.
Just call it Monroe
and only hire people from Monroe.
God, that would be so hard.
Dude, I want to get it like an endowment going to give like $10,000 a year to some kid who graduates from there and wants to major in film.
That'd be
because
so cool.
I feel like it's like not supported.
I would love that. It would be such a cool thing.
But it's not supported because no one's put their money behind it.
That would mean everything.
Like, I feel like if you gave $10,000, if you offered one $10,000 scholarship, like then like suddenly 4 or 5 people from each class, and then suddenly 5 or 10 people would like try to go after it, and then suddenly like all of these kids are interested in film.
Then you got a competitive school.
And then suddenly we have all of these interns at Monroe Productions in Beverly Hills, and it's great.
That would be so cool, dude.
Yeah.
You know, this has nothing to do with any. I mean, you brought up the Weinstein thing earlier. I'm not going to get into that. But
I was about to say, nothing happened.
No, yeah. What thing? But it made me think of one of my favorite composers, Dustin O'Halloran. He did the score for Like Crazy and Lion. If you saw Lion, but he did the score for a film called The Current War. Have you heard of this one? Mm-hmm. And it didn't release because of all the scandals and stuff that happened. But it was funny. I was like reading a thing, and Dustin was like, it's a real big bummer this happened because it's like one of my favorite scores and the film's not going to release.
That sucks.
And yeah, it made me think, just ever since you brought that up, I was like, that's also a huge thing you have to think about is that like you can put a ton of work into something and it could flop. Obviously this is a personal thing, but it could, you never know.
Yeah.
You never know when these kind of things will just like, you put all this time into something.
That's like heartbreaking.
It's heartbreaking. That score is beautiful. Like, they released like one track from it and it's just perfect.
Like I just couldn't even imagine like producing something, put 2 or 3 or 4 years of my life into it, and then like it just gets shelved, and I'm like, God, dude.
Right. And that stuff happens, and it's frustrating, but it's also that thing where the time's gonna come.
Yeah.
It'll happen when it happens.
So I mean, I guess circling back to like finding gigs and stuff, like if you're not repped, it's just all about hustle and cold email, like
yeah.
And just really getting involved in like your local community. Because even if they're not making the best stuff, they're still making stuff, and it's still keeping you fresh.
Yeah, and then you have content.
Yeah, and then you can put a reel together and maybe get an agent. Like, I don't know, if you live, I can't even think of a good example, but like, say if you lived in a suburb of Boise, right, and your suburb,
Nampa.
Yeah, if you live in Nampa, and
specifically Nampa, no one else.
Maybe they're not making the best films, but they're making something, and at least do a couple of those, get a reel together, and then go try to find an agent in Boise. And then maybe your agent can find you a couple better high quality things in Boise, and then move from there. So
yeah,
just my 2 cents. Everyone does shitty projects in the beginning. It's nothing to be ashamed of. Literally, like, who was it? Stephen Colbert did like McDonald's commercials in the 80s, and like that's the thing. People are always like, "Oh, I want to hold out to be." It won't happen. It happened to me by pure luck, pure luck. But then even after that, like, I've still done stuff that's just like shit, and I'll be the first to admit it. So
well, and the thing is too is that there isn't any like bad project you can take on when you're still figuring it out. Mm-hmm. Like taking on music videos, like taking on short films, commercials, like anything you can do with a small community is huge because the community there is so supportive. Mm-hmm. And at the end of it, you will, if you work hard with the people that are around you, like you're going to have a piece that's something that is comparable and competitive to anything else out there. For instance, like, I don't know, I've done a ton of music video work and it's been great for my portfolio.
That's something I want to get into. Tell me about that, because so this year, one of my big goals was to help others. Just, that's it.
Yeah.
Those 2 words. And it's already like started to come to fruition. So yeah, I like music videos because you can create something super cinematic in like one day.
Totally.
Like, I'm not trying to like take the easy way out, but like, if I'm not doing anything tomorrow, it's like, why shouldn't I shoot a music video with one of my friends, since I know, like, it's not like I'm going out there with my like T3i and my Kitlins anymore. It's like we have like Zeiss super speeds, like we have like whatever, like nice bodies. We can make something really great in one day. Yeah. Ooh. Ooh. We got the body. We got the lenses.
I mean, yeah, music videos are a huge passion of mine, and I kind of have a lot of different passions, which is a blessing and a curse. Mm-hmm. But music videos are, so like David Fincher started in music videos, and David Fincher's a huge influence of mine, and he's done a lot of, so 9 Inch Nails did a lot of their music videos early on, and then they scored his films later on. So that relationship is a really interesting one. But music videos are, it's a short form to tell a story. I mean, if you can meet with an artist and you can, I mean, if you're a filmmaker and you're opposed to doing music videos, you're an idiot, because it's a format for both of you to work together on it. And I think that you do a short film that's 6 minutes long to a person's song that's 3 minutes long. That's a client you have forever.
Yeah. I was so opposed to doing pretty much everything for but except features last year, because I had this carved out image in my mind, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be like Christine Vachon, start the next killer films, and I'm only gonna do features. Commercial work? No.
Imagine you like in your closet with like one of those pole lights.
Yeah.
Just like speaking to yourself.
I mean, pretty much, I got some great offers to do commercials last year, and I turned all of them down because it's not something that I know.
I think there's value in that too, though.
I know what I'm passionate about. That's the thing.
Exactly.
And it's like,
yeah.
If I'm gonna go there and dread being there, like,
totally,
dude, hire someone else, because someone else is they're gonna not just do it for the money, but they're gonna do it because like they love just doing that. Where
exactly.
Like, I found exactly what I love. It's like I can't even compare it to anything else. It's like loving a drink at Starbucks and going to Dunkin'. And it's like it's still caffeine, but
and I say, well, and to your point, like that's super valuable. Like understanding who you are and the work that you're willing to take on is huge. So like I'm not saying I would never like tell people just like do everything.
Yeah.
But like for me, for instance, if a musician approaches me and I like the song and it's something I can see, like I can really tell a story through this, take it.
If you don't like it, do you quote them?
If I don't like it, I just tell them I'm not going to do it.
Okay, you don't even send them a quote. You just tell them that you're not interested.
I'm not interested.
That's interesting.
I mean, I'm very frank with people. I think it's the best way to be.
With the production company, there's a lot of stuff that I'm not hands-on with.
Yeah.
We'll send quotes, but I'm not producing it. I'm not doing anything. We just hire,
Right.
do work for hire and use like internal people, that type of deal. But if something comes through and I'm interested in it, then I'll just take on that job myself, that type of deal.
Yeah.
So really finding a way to like, look, checks are written every day. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Really finding a way to be a capitalist and,
Yeah.
you know, our work is good. You like it. You're writing a check. We'll find a way to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to be personally involved though.
Right.
But I can ensure that this quality will be upheld.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's kind of long-winded. I'm sure that makes me seem like some type of money grabber, but like that's just how businesses are ran.
It's
like,
honestly the truth. No, it's
when you have a bunch of I think it's different than when it was just me doing it versus
Right.
like when other people have to.
when you got to
feed
pay
people. Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah. So, but anywho,
Music videos are awesome.
But
I
yeah.
love doing music videos.
so last year I like pretty much didn't want to do any like short films or commercials or music videos. Like I was just narrowed in on features, which I love features. I still love features.
Mhm.
But like this year, just like open them to everything because I don't know. I've just seen a lot of great music videos done, and I know if they're done right,
So
like
good.
like that's the thing. Like me and you already have the people around us and the tools to make something look great.
Yeah.
Whereas like I was just remembering in high school where I'd do a music video and I'd set up my T3i on a.
Oof. I used a
on a-
flip cam, so you were better off than I was. My music videos were dumb.
I used that and I set it up on a tripod, and I was like, all right, look, everyone look right at the camera, and then after that take, I'd move it to the side and I'd be like, all right, now everyone still looks straight. And then like, and then I'd get a bunch of close up of instruments, and then that was it, and I'd cut it together.
Yep.
And I was like,
I remember those days.
oh yeah, dude, I made a lot of bad music videos when I was in high
Same.
school, like a lot of bad music videos.
I still think mine are out there.
What I used to do is I used to like go to like indie music nights, and I used to hustle myself. I was like, yo, I'll do a music video for like $200. Hit me up. And everyone's like, oh man, I just made $200 on this show. Man, we should get a music video. And then like I'd literally show up for like an hour and
Oh,
like
man.
be like, all right, yep, I'll send it to you tomorrow. I'd go to school the next day. I'd cut it during class and I'd send it to them.
Wow.
The thing is, they would all love it because it's
Right.
like,
It's a content.
exactly. But anywho, I'm getting really long-winded.
No, that's okay.
Agent manager are good if you have the talent and reel and stuff to back it up.
Right.
Lawyer's a essential piece of the team too if you're dealing with like big money stuff. And yeah, I think that's kind of all I have to say. If you have any questions, feel free to DM us. We'll have Josh on again sometime. And
I have a really long keyboard.
you do?
Yeah, you see this? This is how I message people.
Oh, okay.
I actually connect my piano to my keyboard.
Oh my gosh, how cool would that be? If
That would be
A with C.
It would throw you off because you would get used to like Q being like a sharp note,
Oh,
and then you would like play, and it would really throw you off.
I think we're getting pretty far deep into this.
Yeah, that's really deep.
So if you have any questions, we'll do like an AMA style thing. We might even post something on Reddit, like AMA filmmaking, that type of deal. But until next time, it's been great. Josh, where can they find you at?
IQFlix.com is my company. IQFLICKS.
And on the socials.
On socials, just Josh at IQFlix.
Wow. So sweet.
Simple.
Short and simple to the point. Love it.
You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
Josh McCausland.
Josh
What about
McCausland.
Spotify?
Oh yeah, Spotify, Josh
iTunes.
McCausland, iTunes, Apple Music, SoundCloud, Bandcamp, Deezer, Amazon. Just like list for a while. All the places.
Matt? Tell me about vinyl. Tell me about it.
Oh,
Sorry, I had one last question because I really wanted vinyl, and he said that it was going to be cheaper than I thought. Tell me about vinyl.
well, there's a place called, I think it's called like Lathe. Don't quote me on that, Lathe Records or something. But you can get like a personalized record made for like $40.
Really?
So
Huh.
just like you submit your music to it, you submit the artwork. If you wanted like a bulk, anywhere else I looked for like bulk shipments, it would be way too much. But so yeah, I could totally get us a record.
I think this was the longest podcast ever, man.
Cha-ching!
Yeah, exactly. Well, until next time, don't lick the Crap, I messed it up for the first time ever. Don't drink the milk straight out of a cow's tit and do-do-loo-do.